And we're back, folks, on another edition of Behind the Uniform, the series where we go behind the scenes with the guys who don the maize and blue, wear that winged helmet on the field to play, learning about the things that it takes to get them ready for that action, and things that it takes to get them ready for the game of life. And joining us, a returnee, a veteran of Behind the Uniform and a veteran of the Michigan football team, a captain at that, Mr. Jordan Marshall. Jordan, how you doing, man?
I'm great. Got to golf a little bit yesterday with some of the guys, so it was a good time and excited to get this season underway.
Yeah, man, it's amazing to see your journey. You've always been like a mature soul, but it feels like that leadership quotient was tested last year to the hilt, even though you're a sophomore in Stanley. Did you feel like guys were kind of looking to you during times of adversity as like a stalwart, as like a mainstay?
Yeah, and I think that just comes from, I think I was naturally God-given that ability, and just trying to use the abilities God gave me to the fullest, and whatever my team needs me to be, and that was being vocal and being demanding of them, and that's what I've been this offseason, is making sure that I'm expecting the best out of them, and they're also expecting the best out of me. But there's no time for leaders to have a bad day, and that's what I strive to be every single time I step out there, is the same guy and bring the energy and the juice, and sometimes I'm lacking it and I need somebody to tell me, Jordan, we need you. So just to keep that presence and just to have that is humbling, that my teammates look up to me.
Yeah, man. Well, they also respect your grind that results in you being a dude they can count on the field. And it felt like that, no matter what, you were going to give everything you had. If that's running through a guy, if it's, blocking a guy, it felt like we saw that in you last year. I want to know if you felt that as the guy out there doing it. Did you feel that you were given that last year?
Yeah, and I've always been told, no matter if you have the ball, if you don't have the ball, if you're on the sideline, the impact you have has to be the same no matter where you are. And that's being a leader. Is you might not, again, I mentioned this a few days ago, but it doesn't matter if Savion has 2 touchdowns and 100 yards. As long as we're winning the games, that's all that matters to me at the end of the day. And if I can just help the team win in whatever way that is possible, that's what I want to do. And again, it's better when you have a team that's like that. And Savion's the exact same way, and I'm glad I get to have somebody like him. And a lot of guys keep forgetting about Bryce Underwood, and right. He's going to be great too, and it's going to be a 3-headed monster in the backfield.
We really saw an example of what you were talking about early in last season, that selflessness, that where it's about team, because justice is getting off. Mm-hmm. Justice is making these plays, and everybody's talking about it. Justice, right? And it didn't pop right away, the big plays for you like they were popping for him. Mm-hmm. You didn't mope, you didn't sulk, you're a great teammate. And then when it came time for you to hit, you start doing the same thing. Mm-hmm. Can you take us back to that time, what was going through your mind as, all that was going on and you were just out there doing your thing?
Yeah, for me it's just, again, I'm helping soften the defense up. One of us is going to hit. Could be him, could be me, could be Bryce. Could be anybody in the backfield. So just to keep doing that, when Justice scores, shoot, I score.
Right.
And you have to be you're just as happy for him because you've both been beating the defense down over time. And then, again, we talk about leadership it's not always the guys in front. It has to be the guys behind also. So when you step out on the field, that there's no, you're not like, oh, this is the 2 back or this is the 1B back. Like, we say that in our room is they shouldn't be able to tell who the leader is in our room, because every single time you step out there, it should be the same amount of production, leadership, high quality, high person on and off the field. And that's our standard in our room, and the standard that's been held before us with the Mike Harts, with the Blake Corums, with Haskins. It's those guys that did it before us that's why we keep playing and have that high character.
Yeah, so look, you take lessons away from every single season, setting aside everything that happened with coaching. I'm just keeping it on the field and things that had to do with on the field. After you lose games and that kind of thing. What were the biggest lessons you learned last season?
The biggest lessons that I've learned is when we happen to lose a game, I'm the one giving the interviews after the game. So I guess they trust me to behave up there. Hopefully we're not losing too many games this year. Hopefully 0.
Right.
But some of the lessons is just, again, you can't win without a community and a team, and I think we've done a really good job is connecting not only as an offense, but being connected to our defense as well, because it's the trust between 2 different units and also a third unit where you play offense and defense at special teams together. So to be connected on all 3 of those phases is what you need to have a good football team, and not just connected through football, but connected in a day-to-day basis, just going out to dinners with each other, going to travel together, going through hard things together in the off season. And I think we had a community, but it wasn't there. You couldn't call somebody out. Everybody was a little bit not trying to say anything, just passive. And I think we've done a better job of working together to call out when somebody's not doing what they're supposed to, or praise somebody when they are doing what they're supposed to. And it's exciting to see that your teammates have so much care for you that they want you to succeed. And at the end of the day, we're all trying to compete to get to the league, but we're also all trying to compete to become better men, better role models, better people, and better football players.
So is that a conscious thing that you guys set out to, hey, we need to hold each other more accountable, or was that a natural part of new regime comes in, getting to know other guys, and that part just started coming out?
I think that's something that we all wanted. It didn't need to be said, and it was said, but you could tell that people wanted more accountability, and I think truly you don't. I think people ask for accountability, but do you really want it? Because then it gets here and people are like, wow, I'm accountable now. And, oh, this is hard, or this sucks. But at the end of the day, it's going to make you better. And there's people that are like, oh, I still love it, and there's people that don't. But I'll tell you this is that they know they're going to get better from it. And that's what with our strength staff and Coach Witt and Coach Beck, Jay Hill, like, they're talking to not only the offensive guys, but the defensive guys. They're all over talking to each other. And that's, again, I'm closer to the defensive staff than I've ever been.
Yeah,
and
that's big.
Again, you're close to everyone, and that's where that community comes in, where it doesn't matter who's saying something. It doesn't matter if it's a younger guy on the roster, if it's a walk-on guy, if it's a fifth-year guy. You're going to listen to them because they've been through it and they're working hard, and that's what you have to have on the team.
Okay, so let's go back to focusing on Jordan. At what point last year do you feel like, man, that was when I was really rolling. That was when I was really doing my thing. What point was that for you?
I would say Wisconsin was a big one for me, and then Purdue. Those middle-of-the-road games. But I would say the biggest one where I felt like I was getting into my groove was Michigan State after that long run at the end, kind of sealing the win and helping us move on. But I think I know I stay in my element at all times, because when my number's called, I'm going to go out there and perform and do whatever I need for my team. And like you said, 1A, 1B, no matter what it is, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to play the hardest I can for my team. And that's what they expect out of me every time I'm out there. And that's what I'm going to give them every single time I'm out there.
Because that's you all the time, I think a really interesting focus is what's the next level? What's improvement for a guy who gives you 110% all the time anyway. Like, you're never gonna not be that on the field. So a guy who grinds like that all the time, like yourself, what's the next level for you?
I think the next level is obviously pass pro is always you can get better at. I'm natural with the ball in my hand. That's what we were recruited to do when we came here. But keep getting better at pass pro, and I think I have gotten better at pass pro, and Coach Alford does a great job. That's one of the things we work on every single day at practice. But I also think mentally, I always am chasing perfection, and when something's not perfect, I get really mad. And it's just because I have, like you said, I'm trying to be great every single play, and I try not to have any bad plays, whether that's at practice, in the game, missing a hole. I want to be perfect no matter what it is, and I get upset sometimes. I get probably more upset when it's not perfect than when we just totally mess up the play, because I'm just trying, again, I want perfection every single time, and you're not going to get it every single time, but if everybody's striving to be perfect, you're going to have a great play. And that's what I think I've mentally been better at, is making sure that I'm even kill and staying even kill no matter what the situation is.
Gotcha. All right, so you mentioned something earlier, though, that it's clear is a next level for all the guys, especially the guys who didn't come over from Utah. They say, every guy that's been here before you, that they are bigger and stronger.
100%.
Without exception.
100%.
And not just bigger, significantly bigger and stronger.
100%.
And so I've been telling them, don't just say it, give me numbers. And so I'll just throw out a couple, and you tell me whether you believe it. Etta said I added 150 pounds to how much I can lift.
I would agree. I would say yeah.
We just had Blake Frazier in this morning. He said I went from benching 225 20 times to benching it 29 times.
Mm-hmm.
Trey Pierce said I went from benching 225 18 times to benching it 27 times.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these numbers are off the charts.
Yeah.
In terms of improvement in 5-6 months, Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll ask you,
Yeah.
have you had the same experience?
I have.
So let's put some numbers to it, man. How can we quantify it?
I benched 375 for 1. I did 225 for 25, and that was 4 reps up from what I was at, coming off actually didn't bench earlier because I was still, my shoulder, rehabbing that at the beginning of the winter. So didn't have any numbers, and then recently just hit 225 for 25 reps, which is top for a running back in the combine. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
so
it's really good.
Hopefully I can keep boosting that up, maybe even hit 30 would be the goal. And then squat is around 5. I want to say we hit like 525 for, I want to say 4 or 5, yeah. But
So man, it begs the question. Now, this is not comparison for the sake of disparaging what was, right?
Yep.
But it is comparison for the sake of assessing what's different. And then what does it mean on the football field? Because it couldn't have been bad when whatever they were doing, whatever you guys were doing before as a program, won a national championship a few years ago. So it couldn't have been bad. But for you guys to be this much stronger, Jordan, how do you get there? What's different about what you do now compared to what you were doing?
I think it attacks the football side of it. We are football training. And again, these big numbers are good and all, but how are these movements taking over to the football field? Why am I squatting this much? And why am I doing this much hamstring work? So when we're running 4th and 1 and I need to get a first down and there's 300 pounders in the middle, how do I? And I think the way we are lifting is different than how we were, because I think it prepares you more, and we're working the muscles that are going to be used in a game, if that makes sense. And everybody can be big and strong, and you can bench 570 or whatever it is, or 370 or whatever it is, but how can you move this person? Can you do this? And I think the strength staff has done a great job is, why are we doing this? Why am I jumping as much as I am? Oh, for explosion. Why are we constantly working on hamstrings so I can have a healthy season? And I think that's where our strength program has been different, because we're doing all those things. We cut every day, we run every day. We're putting pressure on not only our hamstrings, but our ankles, our calves. So when you get told all of that stuff and why we're doing it, then you're like, okay, I see why we're doing this movement. I see the vision. So I think it's more geared to what a football player needs in an off season, what they're trying to get from you. So when you do hit the ground running, in for us is 6 days or next week, we're just back out there playing football again.
Yeah, a tough question for you, admittedly, because you haven't played a game yet under this new staff and in the aftermath of this strength program. But kind of piggybacking on what you just talked about, of what does it translate to on the field? So physically, could you even see in the spring how it translated on the field? And then the other question, mentally, like when you know you're that much stronger, like how does that translate to the field as well?
I think it's mentally, I look at our team and I'm like, wow, these dudes look great. Like, we're going to have a great season, because I've seen a lot of the guys play. And it's been hard, because I'm like, oh, we haven't had Rod healthy. We haven't, even in the spring, I was like, we didn't have Rod healthy. We didn't have any of the older linebackers that transferred over 100%, or Smith. And I'm excited just to see all those guys, all the work they've put in to get healthy, and how much stronger they've got, and see how good we're going to be. I mean, that's what this fall is going to be, and what training camp's going to be, is to see where we're at, see how good we are, see we're really going to compete. And that's what we've done all summer, all winter, all spring, and just to see everybody out there playing football. And again, I'm excited. I mean, these guys we've crushed the 3 cycles, winter, spring, and summer, and now it's just crushing this camp cycle and making sure that we're getting everything out of it we need to. And we have depth now. We're just young, and making sure those young guys don't play like young guys is the most important thing. So making sure that leadership is not only through me, but Andrew Marsh, JJ, Nathan Owusu. He played not that much, but that's a guy we got to lean on this year. Dom Nichols. And it's going to be exciting. I'm excited.
Yeah, man. You talk about smashing preparation, getting ready for what's in store for you guys this season from a schedule standpoint, and from a people kind of underestimating Michigan, which is a change, but there's also opportunity in that, opportunity to put that preparation to great use. Same thing is the case when we talk about your financial future as well. It's all about preparation now for your future 20, 30, 40 years down the line. That takes us into the financial literacy boot camp. So Jordan, we go in phases, like you do in a football game. We go in phases when it comes to the boot camp. So first phase for you was the group session over at UMCU.
Jordan, we've talked before, right? Yeah, son of Cobb, Cincinnati. I'm gonna let you steal this one, Jordan. Tell me why.
I honestly don't know why, but I know that it doesn't show. Like I've looked at it, it doesn't show off like that.
I'm curious, from that group setting, second year in that group setting, what were your big takeaways from the experience this year?
I think my biggest takeaways were you learn from other guys also. Like, you have all these teammates that work with different people that get to have different experiences, and then you all get together and you get to work with a great organization like the credit union, and just to be there and have refreshers to learn about credit cards. And I mean, a lot of people only know the bare minimum. You have to pay it off. It helps your credit score. If you don't pay it off, then credit scores would be bad. But to learn kind of those details and what it really can do for you was, I mean, it gives me a refresher, and then I also don't know things. And a lot of kids growing up don't get to learn about financial and how to take care of their money.
Yeah, no doubt. And that's one of the goals here, is to give not just student athletes better perspective on their financial wellness, but also just, students in general, people in your age demographic, giving them some tools, seeing your example of how you're managing your process. Which takes us over into the second phase. You got a chance to sit down with the Morgan Stanley team and Dave Hemmick and his crew again. So what were your big takeaways from that session this time around?
I would just say, I always talk about, and when I've talked to Dave, we talk about cadences and where I should put my money and how I can help my family in the long term. And it's really not about, for me, it's not about the money I'm making right now. It's about what can I generate over time to help not only myself, but to give back to people, to help my family. And that's kind of what me and Dave talked about, was how do I set myself up for the long term, and how do I do that by investing my money and being smart with my money and making sure that I'm using my resources.
No doubt. And so, he's done great with giving guys some lessons and tips about, how you use some of the tax advantages of some of the investments to your benefit, how that could really help you over time. Like you said, if you, depending on what you get into, you can delay having to pay taxes and make more money off that money in the interim. That's just one example. So I'll ask you for some specifics, first with UMCU and then with Morgan Stanley. Give me a specific strategy or tool that you're going to apply the quickest, starting with what you took from over UMCU.
I would say save now. We talked about kind of, I think people trying to, my teammate brought a brand new watch or earrings or something, let me buy one, and maybe saving that for, let me set a goal for myself. When I do this, then I'll go buy this nice watch or something. Because it's okay, and I've had conversations with my dad before, it's okay to, I've earned this, but it's also, you earn it to a certain point, and then you also have to think about, I'm an adult now. So I think that's something that we learned there, was save now, and you'll be able to have those experiences, and I'll be able to retire early and hopefully maybe not even have to work again. And that's something that I want for myself, but it's also giving my kids the opportunity I had.
Gotcha. All right, so same question when it comes to your Morgan Stanley session, a strategy or tool that you will apply the quickest.
The quickest that I will apply is probably just around the same boat as putting away money that ensures me that I will be financially smart and making sure that I have somebody that I can check in with, and not only check in with about my money, but also somebody I can call and be like, hey, can you help me with this? And having people on your side that you can trust that are willing to make sure when you need something, they're there for you, or they can, it's only a phone call away. And those are the people you want to be around that take you serious and also that you can trust.
That's why we do this, the Financial Literacy Boot Camp. And so, Jordan, you got into the spring. This is the time where, you know, it's full acclimation period. You've seen the playbook, you've taken the mental reps, and then you start to apply it. How quick was that process for you, taking what you saw in the playbook and getting on the field and playing without thinking?
So I would say I've played a lot of football now, even in high school, but in high school I had 3 different offensive coordinators. I've had 2 different here, so I was frustrated at first that I was going to have to learn a new offense, but then you learn it, and I mean, I pick it up really fast, but I also think it's because of my experiences that I've had to learn offenses almost every single year, is that I've had to learn something new, and I think that's going to help me in the long run, and it's helped me honestly learn about football. Is there's so many different ways to do it, and I think it prepares me for hopefully when I get drafted that I can pick that offense up just as easy. And that's, I think, where I have an upper hand, is I have the football IQ to pick up things and learn it really, really fast and take it to the field in 10 minutes and be able to retain that information.
So to kind of have perspective on the offense without giving away specifics. You said you played a lot of football. You know, with the reputation, Michigan, hey, man, you're going to pound teams. That was duo, counter, power. You inside zone, you even had an outside zone last year and became very proficient at it. Everything was predicated on that. If you could sort of explain what aspects of this offense are similar, and what's the biggest difference maybe you see in this offense?
I just think we have the ability to not only run the ball and beat you inside and run all those things, inside zone, outside zone, counter, power, but we have also the ability to beat you out in space. We have the guys out wide that can beat you over top, deep. We have guys that can go get the ball, and I think that receiver room has taken that next step, and it's really exciting to see, not only for myself, but for Bryce and for Andrew, to have a group of guys like JJ, like the tight end room that has stepped up with Deakon, Tonielli, and Zach Marshall, and Mason Bonner is going to be a great player. Eli Owens, like there's tons of guys that are going to play a lot this year, and I just think our offense is going to be really explosive, and I think we're going to add that element of being able to take the ball downfield and clearing up the box for guys like me and Savion and Kuz throughout the season.
Yeah, man, it's interesting and funny to hear you say that, because talking to the last 2 coaches, it's like I remember distinct conversations talking about, you know, loaded boxes and strategies against loaded boxes. And I remember saying to both of them, not in an antagonistic sort of way, but just in an inquisitive sort of way, like, Coach, you know, some people RPO that. And both of them, it was uncanny. Both of them said, yeah, and some people run into it, like we do, right? So it was a mentality. And at least from that specific standpoint, is the mentality much the same, or is there a shift there when you're talking about it?
I think the mentality stays the same, because if we're going to run the ball, we're going to run the ball, and that's what we do at Michigan. But I think to have that the other side is, well, now we got to worry about getting beat too, over top. Maybe even a jet sweep, whatever it is, that they have to worry about that too, and not just, okay, they're just going to run the ball. And again, I don't want to give too much away, but it's gonna be exciting.
So let's do this general question, because I feel like listening to all you guys talk, the offense is going to be tougher to deal with.
Yeah.
What is it about the offense that is going to make it tougher on defenses?
One, the players and the people we have, not only in my room, but the depth we have at each position. I think we have a whole bunch of guys that are really good football players and that can play right now. And that's so exciting because you don't come to Michigan to just sit the bench, you come to play.
Right.
So I think that's exciting, but I also think there's a level of trickery throughout our whole offense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I've heard that too with Coach Beck. Like he's going to keep defenses guessing. And so you said first though, it's the players. Right? Set all that aside. It's the Jimmies and the Joes. And so the trigger. I love getting your perspective on the team broadly and other guys. And specifically in this case, Bryce. Like what differences? Where are the biggest signs of growth in Bryce in your view?
I mean, we all know he can throw the ball. People would be lying if you said he couldn't. But I think he's matured not only as a leader, but he's grown up. Like he understands the game of football. He's played a whole season under his belt. He has people he trusts around him, and he just trusts what he's supposed to do. And he's not only working harder, but he's also, he just was in LA training. He's been in LA almost every weekend training and getting after it. And when you see somebody that is that demanding on himself and wants to be the best he can be, and I know he will be because that's who he is. He's going to show up, and I'm excited for him to prove everyone wrong. And he's going to. I still think, and I'll still say that I think he's a future Heisman. And, mark my words if I'm wrong, but I truly think he's one-of-a-kind athlete, and he's gonna have a great season this year.
So you were the first one among the players to really give us an idea what Justice Haynes was. We thought we knew, but you were like, nah, this dude is a home run hitter. Yep. We saw it. Do the same thing for me with Savion. Like, what do you see in Savion?
I would say he's a lot like Haskins. He's a player now. He's really explosive, and I don't even think sometimes he knows how explosive he is. He's going to be a really good player, really good leader. And I think the best thing about him is he's so willing to learn being such a good player and five-star player that he is that he's willing to, oh, Jordan, how do I do this? Oh, Jordan, trying to learn everything he can. And he's such an unselfish guy. And when you have guys like that, they're going to excel in no matter what it is. If he's playing special teams, if he's on kick return, punt return, if he's blocking on punt. But that's the best thing about him, which is going to make him an even better player. And he's a speedster now. He can move. Yeah.
Okay. Well, part of what makes all of you guys better, that line in front of you. And you look at it, obviously they're bigger and they're stronger. We talked about that. But they're more experienced. I feel like they're deeper. There's more talent up there.
Yeah.
Feels like they're destined to really take a big step. Do you see that as well?
They played a lot of ball together, and they understand how each other plays, which helps me because I've seen how they play, and they understand each other and know where each other are going to be at. But we also not only have 5 guys that can play, we have, I would say, almost 9 guys that can play. And I think that room and Coach Harding, he just has that factor that when I first met him, it was just like, wow, this guy's, he has it. Like, don't know what about him, but he has it. And they all love him, and I mean, they got better from just the spring to the end of spring, and then now lifting from the end of summer to now. So I'm excited to step out back there with those guys and get to work.
All right, so we'll wind this down with having you do what I have had every guy do, using yourself as the barometer based on who surprised you. And we'll go offense, defense. Doesn't have to just be running back.
Yep.
Who on offense is you think going to surprise people?
I think Deakon Tonielli is a really good player at tight end, and people have heard about JJ, so I would go with Salesi.
Okay.
I think Salesi is, again, he's one of those guys that just have it. Like, it's just in his blood, and he's going to be a great player for us this year.
Yeah, man. To see a guy that long be that twitchy was just. I was like, man, why would they ever recruiting this guy as a DB?
Yeah.
It's just,
yeah.
But that's how good an athlete he is. All right, so let's flip it around and tell me about who you think is going to surprise on defense.
So, I think Dom Nichols is going to have a monster season. I think Chris Bracy is a really good football player and really smart. And then Rod Moore.
Okay, so so why do you think? Because you're the second one to say watch Dom Nichols. Blake Frazier said he's going to be phenomenal this year. What is it about? What have you seen in Dom that makes you think it's about to bust out?
I mean, not only has he learned from two great classes before him that were, guys were getting drafted left and right, but he has the physicality. He has that switch that he just turns it on, and you're not stopping him. And he can make our practices hell. Like, really can just shut the whole thing down. And when you have a player that good, and then you're going to have somebody, you have Cam Brandt and you have JHD, John Henry on the other side, or hopefully they have a package where all three of them are in, but it is going to be a scary sight to see. And it's scary. He's a really good football player and really athletic, especially at the size he's at.
Yeah, and so then you mentioned Chris Bracy and the guys. They were like, man, this dude, all the stuff he was doing in Memphis, he was doing here in practice, like big plays. So from your perspective, why Chris Bracy?
Again, I think those safety positions are some of your smartest guys on the field. It's like the quarterback almost. Like, they can see everything. They see the field well, and when he's out there, he just sees the field well, and he's aggressive, but he's smart with his aggression. And you have to have guys that are like that know when the big play is there, or no, I got to be the deepest man. And I think, again, he's just a really smart player and helps our defense on that side.
You just described Rod Moore when Rod Moore was 100%, right? And so I think I have an idea why you're saying him, but why?
He's back. Like, I walked into the weight room today with him to lift after we got done running. He's like, this is the best I've ever felt. And I'm just excited to see the Rod that I was watching on TV when I was a senior in high school and a junior. I'm just excited to see him back out there playing football where he belongs, and just praying for him to have a healthy season. And he deserves everything, and he's been working his butt off to be back with this team, and I'm excited.
And so a few key questions to close this out. First, a Coach Whittingham team, his imprint on the program is what?
Physicality. I think not only does his team have it, but he has it, and he works just as hard, and he's in the weight room, and he's walking around looking strong and mean, and it's exciting. And I would say physical.
Then I love to hear guys talk about their circle. It doesn't have to just be the team or coach circle, but the people who are responsible for supporting you in the way that helped you be who you are and get to where you've gotten to. Who are those people for you?
I would say my mom, my dad, my family. always calling, making sure I'm good. No, I'm super busy, so sometimes I don't answer the phone. I'm not great at that, but making sure that I'm trying to hit them back. I just got a dog that is a big part of my support system now.
What kind of dog?
Bernedoodle.
Okay.
She's great. And then really my friends on the team, but really the university. Like, I have so many friends outside of just football that are in frats or sororities or just students here, and I think it makes me so excited to see them living their best lives when we win or when and that's, I mean, last night I got to go to the golf outing, and Adam Schefter and they were just talking about, and Jake Butt, they were talking about how other people made their experiences, and getting to see victories or wins for their friends and the people at their university means a lot, like more to them, and that's what they remember. And that's what's exciting, is that I get to help people and not only be emotional attached to the sport, but also get to help make their days of college and make memories for them. And that's what's so makes me so happy, and the support they give me week in and week out, no matter what the circumstances are, is great.
Yeah, that's great. And so, goals, the ones that you feel comfortable sharing publicly. Jordan Marshall's goals for this season are?
To win a national championship. Team goals, obviously. I want to beat the rivals. I want to win the Big Ten national championship, and then I was just close to 1,000, so make sure I'm over 1,000, and just have the best running back room in the country. And I think you do that by having great people that are scattered all over the field, that play on special teams and that make plays on special teams and offense. And when your number's called, to step up and be a dog.
There you go, man. That's all I expect from you, is to be a dog on the football field, and that's all you've ever been, man. I'm excited to see you this season. Good luck out there, and we obviously be checking for you.
Thank you.
And that'll do it for this edition of Behind the Uniform.